Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Tarot. Now, this is a general reading and it is open to all zodiac signs. So just take what resonates with you. It is also timeless, so anytime you find yourself watching this video, you might have a message here for you. Now, let's try to see what is the main energy as we begin the day. Okay, something is causing you a lot of anxieties. We have here the Nine of Swords. I don't know what the first thing that comes to me is a certain sense of remorse, a certain guilt on something you have done in the past that you realize you could have done better. You realize that, a certain aspect in your life where you committed a mistake and you have a certain remorse now. You wish you could not, somehow a part of you wish that you have not done that. But it's water under the bridge. You cannot undo it anymore. It's something that, it's one of those lessons in life where you commit a mistake and you realize it's, for you, it is something very significant. It makes you really feel guilty and it's causing you somehow anxiety at this moment. For some of you, you might have had some difficulty sleeping also at this time because it preoccupies your mind, it preoccupies your heart. Now, I think the important thing here is to realize that yes, it is part of your life. You have to accept that. It's part of your past. But you have to also realize that this is already done and over with. You cannot undo it anymore. Although there is that desire in you that you wish you could change it, you know you cannot change it anymore. It's already part of your life. This experience, painful as it was, or somehow it makes you feel, for some of you, you might even feel ashamed that why you have done it, or why you have committed it. But it has taught you some life's lesson. And it has made you a better person now. So in a certain sense, there are also blessings from that experience. Painful and sometimes how you might be ashamed of it. But it has taught you some life lessons and you are wiser now than you were before. So the best thing you can do is maybe at this time is to accept this is a part of your life history that you cannot change anymore. And so you accept it as such. Maybe a little prayer, a little conversation with that divine that is much more than we are. For those of you who doubt the existence of the divine, you can always have this kind of dialogue, inner dialogue. In the silence, you can always say, I do not know if you truly exist, but if you truly do. Or if, for example, you believe that it is a part of you, you tell, I know that you are there, whether within me or without you. Oftentimes when you encounter that sense of divine, you just couldn't pinpoint where that divine is. You just know that it is, and it is there. And you cannot describe it. The scriptures will sometimes describe it as before you, behind you, around you. It's just is. Okay. Well, anyway, you can always take a pause with regards to this situation that is troubling you at this time. Take a moment of pause and say a little prayer. If you doubt the existence of the divine, then just say, I don't know if you truly exist, but there is something in my life right now that troubles me, something in my past. I wish I can undo it, but I know I cannot. It's already part of my life history. But I resolve to take the lessons from it. And with these lessons, I resolve to begin again. Life continues. You can either go through life being anxious of your past experience, being troubled, or even being, scared of the past. Or you can accept it and tell this past history, you are part of me. You are part of who I am now. I wish we had not gone through this path, but it's something that we cannot change anymore. And so I accept you as part of me. And I'll try to take the lessons I've learned from this experience, and with these lessons, I resolve to move forward. I resolve to begin again. Beginning again is part of the nature of the universe. It is part of the nature of the universe. Every day, the world renews itself through the sun that rises, and then it ends at sunset. When the sun rises, the creatures of the world wakens and start the day. At the end of the day, some of these creatures that started their activity will rest and anticipate the next day, while the other creatures begin their day. Creatures of the night, they wake up and start their day. And as the sun rises, they go back and sleep, while those who are active in the day, they wake up. It's always a cycle of beginning and closing, and beginning and closing. It's the same with our life experiences. We begin to experience, sometimes it causes pain, but then that chapter closes again, and there's a beginning, a chance to renew oneself, to begin again. So you don't have to lose hope. You can accept this as part of your life, take the lessons that you've learned, and begin again. Experiences as such teaches us to be more compassionate to others, to be more understanding, to be more open to people. We are less judgmental because of our experiences that are painful, our regrets. We realize we too are not perfect, and so we are less demanding of other people. We learn to understand when they commit mistakes, because we know that we too, somewhere along our journey, have committed mistakes. So we learn to be more open, more welcoming to other people. Now let's try to see how this one will further unfold. You see here, whatever it is that is causing you pain, you need to have that complete surrender. Allow this chapter to close. Don't carry anymore this thing that has caused you sorrow for a long time. Allow it to close itself. Completely surrender, like this person, he completely surrendered. It has caused him a lot of pain. For some of you, you might have had some, not only sleepless nights, but it has already manifested through your body, through pain, or maybe even illnesses. Now let the chapter close itself. Sometimes the past catches on to us because they want us to close the chapter. So let the chapter be closed. So we have here from the 9 of Swords to the 10 of Swords. Remember, I took the 9 of Swords underneath, and then the 10 of Swords is on top. And we shuffled it before we did it. So when you look at it, it seems that they are really meant to follow each other. Whatever it is that is causing you anxiety, allow it to close. The reason why maybe they are coming into your awareness at this moment is because they are asking you to finally close this chapter. So say a little prayer. I accept you as part of me. I try to take the lessons I have learned from you, and I resolve to begin anew. The sunrise is about to arrive now. They say it is darkest before the sun rises. So at this moment, if you feel anxiety, believe that sooner or later the sun will rise. The sun will truly rise as long as you always have that willingness and that humility to accept our mistakes and to resolve to begin again. Now let's try to see what is the advice of the universe for us. It will lead to our maturity. We have here the King of Cups. The King of Cups is somebody who is matured when it comes to emotions and relationships. He has already mastered it and he knows how to navigate himself through it. You see him, his throne is in the middle of the sea and there are fishes dancing, or there's a fish dancing in the sea. And there is a ship here that seems to be also navigating through the sea. Somehow when you look at the throne of the King of Cups, it's like also a little boat that is floating in the sea. You will be able to find your way and navigate through the turbulent seas of life. It's a matter of mastering it, a matter of learning the lessons, and a matter of learning to apply the lessons learned. You see here, he is holding the cup. It's like you now able to maturely hold your emotions, to maturely also handle your relationships. The lessons you've learned in the past will allow you to be more mature in your future relationships and even transform your present relationship and your past relationships into a more mature one. For some relationships, you will still be able to continue. For some, you will be able to save and allowed to move forward to together journey with these people. There will be some relationships that you will truly have to let go. And for some relationship, you wish it to continue, but in one way or another, the universe itself closes that relationship. And all that you can do is to learn from it and move on. The important thing there is learning to navigate through the sea of life, to become more mature, to be able to balance both how you deal with other people in your exterior world and also how to deal with the emotional struggles that accompany it sometimes. You learn to mature in relationships. You are able to peacefully navigate the challenges of relationships. Sooner or later, you realize that your source of happiness is within. And so as you deepen in your relationship, you learn to find ways of finding happiness from within. And sooner or later, you'll become a cup that overflows and people will find consolation from you. Because of your experiences, you become more compassionate, you become less demanding, you are able to grow in relationships. Your inner, because of these experiences, you learn to rely more on the divine that is in you. And from that divine that is within you, you will learn how it is to feel unconditional love. And you sooner or later learn to love yourself unconditionally. And from that unconditional love with yourself, sooner or later you are able to love others unconditionally also. So just listen to the fish. The fish are your life experiences and also the guidance coming from the universe. Listen to it, learn from it the lessons that are being taught to you at this moment. And with these lessons, learn to navigate through the currents of life. So this is what we have right now from our Good Morning Tarot. Let us now go to the self-care tip. For our self-care tip, the message comes from Albert Einstein, and the message is, look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. If we try to relate it to our tarot reading, we're in a past experience is catching up on us and it's giving us anxiety, and somehow we are being asked right now to close that chapter, to accept it as part of ourselves and to learn the lessons and to move forward, to grow, to move towards maturity, to allow ourselves to grow. Somehow being close to nature, observing how nature goes through its daily life, we will learn something with regards to what we are experiencing at this moment. When you watch how the sun rises, how the creatures undergo transition during those sunrises and sunsets, how when you are able to watch at sunset how things come into a close, you can learn insights that will help you in this moment of transition in your life. Looking deep into nature will teach us a lot of things that we can apply in our life experiences. And then we will understand everything better. So sometimes all we need is to take a second look at life. Sometimes we encounter certain moments in life wherein we feel helpless and we cannot do anything anymore. It teaches one lesson, and that one important lesson is to realize you are not alone and you don't have to go through this life experience alone. Even if there are physically nobody else supporting you, there's always that divine and always those things who work for the divine that make things better if we are just patient and humble enough to wait. Oftentimes the problem is when that moment of transformation comes, some people do not realize that it's an opportunity for us to grow. And so sometimes they lose hope and they give up. But actually, they are in that moment where they are most given the best chance in order to grow, in order to mature, in order to transform. Crisis moments are opportunities for us to grow. So when they come, or when they suddenly go back into our consciousness, we learn that this too will pass, and we do not have to handle it alone. When you encounter a certain situation that you feel very helpless, you just do your part, and then afterwards you take a moment of pause and be aware that you are not alone and you don't have to handle the situation alone. So what happens? Do your part and then say in a little prayer, Lord, I've done my part. I don't know what else I should do. Can you take care of the rest? If you learn to let go and let the divine, you will be surprised. Allow the divine to surprise you. Allow the universe to surprise you. Allow those guides, spirit guides, those angels who have accompanied you all throughout your life, which most of the time you are not aware of. Allow them to surprise us. Allow them to do things for us that are beyond our control. So always remember, we can only do so much. We just do our part and the rest we entrust to the universe. That's why it's very important for us to have that humility, to know that we are not alone. And that gratitude also. When you know that you are many of the things that are happening to us are gifts coming from our spirit realm. You start to be less burdened by life, because all you realize that all you need to do is to just do your part. You just be there and be docile to the guidance coming from the inner realm. Let the inner realm do the rest. Let the inner realm surprise us. So the next time the past catches up on us, the next time challenges come upon us, allow nature to take its course, because nature will continue to unfold itself, just as our life mysteries will continue to unfold itself. If we go through the process, we will also undergo transformation and maturity. So just do the part, your part, what you can handle, the things that you can do, you do it, and then you entrust the rest to the universe. It's good to have that dialogue. Lord, we have a problem. I've done my part. Can you solve the rest for me? When we have that kind of cooperation with the universe, we are allowing the universe to surprise us. And we are allowing the universe to lead us by the hand into that process of growth and maturation. So, somehow this is part of our spiritual journey. The handling of our shadow side, an opportunity for us to grow. And if we listen to nature, if we observe more closely to what is happening around us, you will be surprised. You will sooner understand everything better. So look deep into nature, look deep into your situation, and then you will understand everything better. Well, I hope that this tarot reading and this self-care tip is helping you right now in your present life situation. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.